What other sort of things is this really good for? I mean, you've talked a lot about cancer. I mean, my co-host Red Beckman here, for example, has rheumatoid arthritis.
Well, and rheumatoid arthritis there's a cause for it. And if you can get into the energy of the body and measure, evaluate the energy level of organs and systems of the body, which only the Oriental masters can do. We've studied with them. We know how to do that. You can identify which organs have allowed infection to take over, and they're multiple. The average person is walking around with a minimum average of a dozen low-grade, non-presenting infections. Well, just because you're not coughing up something green, you're not hurting, you don't have a fever, don't mean you don't have infections on board. Just because you can't see a terrorist don't mean he ain't there. Haven't we learned that? Well, the reason we don't think about health in these terms is because we don't understand these pathogens are not just a sickness or a disease. They're enemies. That switch alone, if you turn it on, you make completely different decisions about what you're going to do, what doctor you're going to accept advice from. Hey, listen, if Don King called you and said, hey, 15th of next month, I got you booked fighting Mike Tyson in Caesar's Palace, well, what would you do? You say, well, I'm not going to do it. You kill me. No, it's $10 million. Well, I got cancer. I'm going to die anyway. Why don't I just go ahead and have this fight? It'd be a better way of dying than from cancer, and I have $10 million from my kids. Regardless of how you put this concept together, if you had to show up with an enemy that could kill you, what kind of, wouldn't preparation be a word you'd be considering? How about training? How about cheating? How about finding somebody that knew some tricks? How about somebody that knew some kind of special art that you could use on this opponent to whip them, keep them from killing you? How about some defensive strategies, how to avoid this sucker? Listen, you'd be interested in anything that did one of two things: hurt the enemy and made you stronger, and made you more capable and better prepared.
We've got about 11 minutes left to go, and I'd like for Red to be able to
get
Red,
in here
and ask you some questions.
Yeah, Red, are you on?
I'm on.
Glad to have you on.
I'd rather not make any kind of comments because you guys have left me so far behind tonight that I feel rather inadequate mentally to comprehend everything that I've heard.
Look, it's a lot and real fast because, he just says, come over here, I want you to get on here, and I've got Red on the other line. I said, all right, I'll download a little bit and give him some basics to start with. But if you go to those websites, photongenius.com, itskilling.com, there's a lot of information there. You got our toll-free number. All you got to do is call and ask for me, Warren Starnes, the international director of the Institute. I'll schedule a time and get on the phone and be patient and listen and answer whatever we can.
I just hope that Terry has copied down those websites and such because I don't keep up too well with that type of stuff. And so
Fred, you and I got that in common. I got a Terry too, and he did copy them down. So he's watching out.
That way he can relay. He emails me fairly regular, and he can put those on an email and send them to me. And
he's pretty efficient, so he'll do it for you.
Yeah, this is pretty fascinating stuff, and the one thing that I've been kind of listening for tonight, and I haven't heard it, the previous interviewees and such, I think that we have to consider the fact that there are forces out there that are very negative, and they do not want you know, they do not want humanity on this planet to free themselves from their grip. These international gangsters have maintained that they have gotten control of energy, and they've gotten control of banking and the money situation.
Here's the deal, Red, and I'll address it the best I can, and there's multiple considerations with what you brought up. And I agree we're keenly aware of all the things that go on and the conspiracies and the money motivator, you know, etc. But here's the thing. You don't have to worry about special forces or some agency or some government stopping this. It's going to be bloody hard to get it going anyway. The only special forces we're worried about are between people's ears. Just the limited belief.
I agree. Now, here's what I have said many, many times. It's we the people who are the problem. Our Congress has been having their dog and pony show for how many weeks here now on this debt thing, and it's not Congress that is to blame for all of this. It's we the people, and we're the ones that are going to pay the price for our not doing what we should be doing and getting ourselves informed and that type of thing. So anyway, I've enjoyed the program. I've enjoyed listening. When we get programs like this, I just try to stay quiet and absorb as much as I can because I'm thrilled to death because I know that there's people out there that are tapping into these, you know, these great truths, these great facts, and such that we have not been able to utilize because we weren't capable. We had not developed to the point where we could comprehend what these truths and these facts are. But I think we've got, you know, we've got some big things happening and some good things happening. And so I just hope I'm around to see it happen.
Of the individual and giving them, you know, the new healthcare program of the future is don't buy into anybody's except your own. We need to own our healthcare. But you know what? It's easier said than done because it's hard to find out anything that works to where we can tell it works to hold on to or use to have any effect on our health problems. This is a major breakthrough for the individual, for individual health care and personal control of their health destiny. You got to find things that work and work quick and that you can tell, and don't just change an illness or a symptom or a name of a disease. They change your whole friggin' body. That's how you beat problems. In areas of the body, you fix the rest of the body. But it's easier said than done, and without this breakthrough technology, we'd still just be having a conversation. Now, you can get off the phone and go see videos of people doing it, doctors using it, results of medical tests before and after. We had a guy over in Mesa, you know, he's got it, he isn't even a practitioner. He got it for his son who's stage 4 lung cancer. His ex-wife didn't want it in her house. Do what?
Warren, has there been any specific FDA resistance to this?
No, not at all. The FDA doesn't approve of things that work. They're so busy approving things with big budgets and people that want their endorsement. We don't need them or want them. We're not making any claims. This doesn't do anything about disease. It does things about strengthening the body so that the body, the immune system, keeps it under control like it's doing anyway, only better, more obvious. Symptoms improve, quality of life improves, and these things that gradually disappear, we don't claim success for it. We don't claim cure for it. We praise the Lord, thank our Creator for the systems that do it. That's the truth. All these guys out here claiming that their product is the best and that you should use it for disease and everything, they're just selling stuff for all the wrong reasons. Its killing has been about result for people, for patients. That's why he would go to the trouble to make a special one-of-a-kind instrument for a doctor for one girl that was about to die. He's done that for, it's 51 years now. This is an overnight success, all right. It only took 51 years.
Well, I heard a word today, and I've noticed that a lot of this technology that we've got going on here, particularly like what you're dealing with, and the energy lights and the LifeWave patch, they all seem to be associated to the same kind of science, if you will, and going after the same kind of ethereal elements within our bodies. And I heard a word today, photobiomodulation. I threw it out in jest to my people on my chat earlier, and they started telling jokes because nobody was really willing to try to explain it, because it's not a word that immediately comes to mind.
You don't need a big complex word for something real simple. What you need to do is just have a clear, simple understanding of how the body works. Not all these great ideas of how we think you can tweak it and fix it. How does it work? Quantum physicists proved in the 70s, won a Nobel Prize, that you can't explain life with biology and chemistry, only quantum physics. Why? Because there's two aspects of the human organism. A plasma energy field of the body, which is dominant. There was a book written called, in the early 1900s, The Waves of Heal by Albuquerque, and now in our time, the body electric. It's all this research, and there's enough documented research in there to choke a gorilla about how electric the body is. We're more electric than chemistry. But all we spend all our lives doing is figuring out how to do the chemistry thing, and we can't even do what goes on our plate right. So, playing all these games and conversations about all these things, it fits into one of two categories, and it's either a one of two levels. It's in the plasma energy field, the electronics of the body, or the chemistry of the body. There's only two levels, professional and amateur. And if they're making up words and can't explain them in real clear, simple terms, they're amateurs. The Orientals have a real simple way of expressing this. We must change our direction lest we wind up where we're headed. And it's easy to tell where we're all headed. Out of shape, don't feel good, got this diagnosis, this symptom, and everybody we've been taught to go see says, how old are you? Did your father have arthritis? See there, that explains it. No, it doesn't. There's a cause. Arthritis is infection of the bone. Well, look, infections are infections. They go different places. They're multiple. They have different names or whatever, but the body handles them all the same way. You have to have a rich supply of oxygen in your blood. You can't do that if you don't have minerals in your blood. Well, all infections eat all your minerals. That robs you of oxygen, so now you don't have any weapons to defeat them and defend them and get rid of them. There are lots of causes of infection. We know what they all are and can track them down. It has to be done energy testing of the body, the way the Orientals did. For 5,000 years, how did they get rid of all these diseases? Energy work.
When we camped in the ice at Nashville's door.
Good. Enjoy being with you, Red. I'll talk to you later.